Hello, this is Harry Paden. I am the host of Paden's Pulpit. This is episode 2. I'm sorry. This is season 2, episode 41. Season 2, episode 41. And today's subject, interesting in their facts. Proof that black people came to the Americas before Christopher Columbus. Proof that black people came to the Americas before Christopher Columbus. Facts. We recently celebrated Columbus Day. There's always a certain trepidation because people say Columbus actually went to the wrong destination, and why should he be celebrated for an error? That's a debate I'm not getting into. Thank God that he made that error. God uses errors sometimes to progress. The United States of America is here. Unfortunately, it came at the hands of the decimation of the indigenous natives' lives. But again, that's another subject on another day. Indigenous people, some call them Indians. They're not from India, but they call them Indians. Celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. I write about it in my second book. You can find out information about that day, either Googling or reading my book. But today, I'm going to present facts that I checked, and they are facts. And the information was obtained from a group called Atlanta Black Star. Atlanta Black Star. And it's entitled Proof that black people sailed to America before Christopher Columbus. First thing, Christopher Columbus himself noted in his journal that the native indigenous people, some call them Indians, confirmed that, quote, black-skinned people had previously come from the southeast in boats, trading in gold-tipped spears. Columbus noted that in his journal, that he was informed. German scientist Swettler Balabonova reported the presence of cocaine in ancient Egyptian mummies. Cocaine only place that it's grown is in South America, and that predates Columbus by thousands of years. In other words, the Egyptian mummies had it, in their system well before 1492. So something, they had to get the cocaine from South America. So either the native indigenous people sailed it over there, or the Africans came over here. Think about it. Egyptian artifacts were found in North America. Egyptian artifacts, things that were of ancient Egyptian, were found in North America. Ancient African skeletons were discovered in the New World, in Central and South America and California. The archaeologists, I get in trouble with that word, but the people who dig and check for bones and, look for things, signs of life, they found ancient African skeletons in Central and South America and also in California. religion. Before Columbus, native indigenous peoples' religion featured prominent figures of deities, check this out, with dark skin and coarse hair. So the native, I don't call them Native American because America came after they were here before. They are native to this country we now call America, and they're indigenous because they lived here before anyone, even the Africans. But there also are wall paintings in South American caves that depict the ancient Egyptian ceremony of opening of the mouth and cross libation rituals. Can't get into it, but most of you should know what libations as it relates to African people means. If you don't, sorry, I can't go into it now. The accounts of other explorers, at least a dozen explorers, such as Constantine Raphanik, made record of seeing blacks when he reached the New World. These reports match with reports from the native indigenous people from the Mexican area, the area where Mexico now is. The oldest inhabitants of Mexico were blacks, according to Nicholas Leon, and he is a Mexican historian. Another fact, Africans were master shipbuilders. Many scholars assert that Africans were crossing the Atlantic Ocean in papyrus sailing crafts. That's a material, papyrus, Papyrus, the type of material that they use to make their ships. This one, the gigantic stone heads in central Mexico. The Olmec civilization was the first in Mesoamerica, and they were deemed the mother culture of Mexico by some historians. Now, the stone heads, if you go over there and you look at it, or Google stone heads in Mexico, they are prominent with broad lips and features of African people. They are huge stones. And to this day, no one knows how they got there, how they were constructed, how they were put into positions that they were. But it shows an African presence. Either persons who put them together saw and did it after African features, or the Africans themselves did that. There's a long history of trade by sea. African ships often crossed large lakes for intracontinental, between continents. Africa is a continent. You got the Asia, is a continent. Europe, North America, those are continents. South America, Australia, we know that. After expanding trade to the Americas, African native cotton soon spread all across North America. Cotton native to Africa was found and traded in America. That was such we know the history of cotton and Africans that were stolen from Africa and brought over here. The cotton that the Africans brought over and traded was then used to make this country prosperous. And they say that we're barbarians. But this country's wealth was built on cotton exported from Africa and then used to enslave a people. Finally, as The Rock, Dwayne The Rock says, finally, the end. He doesn't say that, but finally is one of his catchwords. There is a long history of trade by sea. The Africans were very astute shipbuilders. Just wanted to give those facts. You can double check me. I know there's some haters that want to minimize the contributions to Africans, not only to America, but also to the world. You can do all that if you want to. But I know I double check the fact before I present it to you. Africans were here before Christopher Columbus. I like that I'm wearing my purple. Purple is a very respected color in Africa. It shows royalty, supremacy, and those things. It's early in the morning, so I'm a little tongue-tied. I hope those facts tweak your interest to do more, because there are people who don't want you to know that. I will always give you information that you won't find many other places. Thank you, Atlanta Black Star, for informing me so that I can inform you. To God be the glory. To God be the glory.